From prosecutor to politics, the rise of Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris's journey is one of many firsts. Born to immigrant parents in Oakland, California, she represents the changing face of America. Her career path, from prosecutor to politician, has been marked by ambition and a commitment to social justice. Rising through the ranks in California's legal system, she gained a reputation for being tough but fair. Her rise through the ranks, first as San Francisco's district attorney and then as California's attorney general, solidified her status as a rising star in the Democratic Party. Her election to the United States Senate in 2016 marked a pivotal moment, not just for Harris, but for the country. She became the first Indian American and the second African American woman to hold this position. Harris's journey, from daughter of immigrants to the halls of power, is a testament to the American dream. Investing in the future, Harris's vision for education. Kamala Harris has consistently championed education as a cornerstone of a thriving society. She believes that every child, regardless of background, deserves access to quality education from early childhood through college. Harris's approach to education policy focuses on both affordability and accessibility. She recognizes the crippling burden of student loan debt and advocates for policies like loan forgiveness and tuition-free college. Beyond higher education, Harris emphasizes the importance of strong public schools. She supports increased funding for K-12 education, particularly for schools in underserved communities. Harris's holistic approach aims to create an education system that is equitable, inclusive, and prepares students for the challenges and opportunities of the 21st century. The fight for affordable living, healthcare at the forefront. Kamala Harris has made affordable living a central theme in her political agenda. She recognizes the struggles of working families grappling with the rising costs of housing, healthcare, and everyday expenses. Healthcare in particular has been a major focus for Harris. She is a staunch advocate for expanding access to affordable healthcare, seeing it as a right, not a privilege. Her support for Medicare for All, a single-payer healthcare system, aligns with her belief in universal healthcare coverage. Harris's commitment to lowering living costs goes beyond healthcare. She supports policies like raising the minimum wage, expanding affordable housing options, and making childcare more accessible. Her supporters praise her for prioritizing the needs of working families and addressing the growing affordability crisis facing many Americans. A champion for choice, Harris's stance on reproductive rights. Kamala Harris is an unwavering advocate for reproductive rights. She believes that women have the fundamental right to make decisions about their own bodies, including whether and when to have children. This stance is deeply rooted in her commitment to gender equality and social justice. Throughout her career, Harris has consistently supported access to safe and legal abortion. She has been a vocal critic of efforts to restrict abortion access, viewing them as attacks on women's rights and health care. Harris's advocacy for reproductive rights extends beyond abortion access. She supports comprehensive sex education, access to contraception, and affordable reproductive health care services. Her supporters admire her unwavering commitment to women's rights and her willingness to speak out on a sensitive issue. Her critics, on the other hand, oppose her stance on abortion and view it as a betrayal of their values. Navigating the border crisis, immigration, and security challenges. Kamala Harris's approach to immigration reflects the complexities of the issue itself. She acknowledges the need for border security while also advocating for humane and compassionate immigration policies. As Vice President, Harris was tasked with addressing the root causes of migration from Central America. This involved tackling issues like poverty, violence, and climate change that drive people to flee their homes. She secured billions in private sector commitments to invest in the region, aiming to create economic opportunities and improve living conditions. However, her handling of the border crisis drew criticism from both sides of the political spectrum. Harris's approach to immigration reform seeks to strike a balance between compassion and enforcement. Her efforts highlight the challenges of finding common ground on one of the most divisive issues facing the nation. Protecting the right to vote, Harris's advocacy for democracy. Kamala Harris has been a vocal champion for voting rights, recognizing the fundamental importance of access to the ballot box in a democracy. She views voting as a sacred right, essential for ensuring that all voices are heard and that government represents the will of the people. Throughout her career, Harris has actively pushed for legislation to protect and expand voting rights, particularly for communities that have historically faced disenfranchisement. As a U.S. Senator, Harris co-sponsored and championed the For the People Act, a sweeping voting rights bill aimed at expanding voter registration, making it easier to vote, and combating voter suppression efforts. However, her efforts in Congress faced significant obstacles. Despite these setbacks, Harris remains committed to protecting the right to vote. She continues to speak out against voter suppression efforts and advocate for policies that make it easier for all eligible Americans to participate in the democratic process. California's top prosecutor, Harris's record as Attorney General. Kamala Harris's tenure as Attorney General of California from 2011 to 2016 provided a significant platform for her to address a wide range of issues. One of Harris's signature achievements as Attorney General was her creation of Open Justice, an initiative aimed at increasing transparency and accountability in the criminal justice system. This program tracked and made public data on police shootings, prison populations, and racial disparities in the justice system. Harris also took on major corporations, holding them accountable for wrongdoing. She secured billions of dollars in settlements from banks and financial institutions involved in predatory lending practices. However, her record as Attorney General also drew criticism. Some argued that she was too hesitant to prosecute police officers accused of misconduct, or that she didn't do enough to address racial disparities in the criminal justice system. Despite these criticisms, Harris's time as Attorney General solidified her reputation as a tough but fair prosecutor. A voice for progress, Harris's time in the U.S. Senate. Kamala Harris's election to the U.S. Senate in 2016 marked a historic moment. She became the first Indian American and the second African American woman to serve in this role. During her time in the Senate, Harris quickly established herself as a skilled legislator and a fierce advocate for her constituents. She served on several key committees, including the Judiciary Committee, the Intelligence Committee, and the Homeland Security Committee. Harris used her platform in the Senate to champion issues such as criminal justice reform, gun control, and immigration reform. She was a vocal critic of the Trump administration's policies, often using her sharp questioning skills during Senate hearings to challenge administration officials. Her time in the Senate further elevated her national profile and solidified her position as a rising star in the Democratic Party. She became known for her sharp intellect, her ability to connect with people from all walks of life, and her unwavering commitment to fighting for social justice. Breaking barriers, Harris's historic vice presidency. Kamala Harris's election as vice president in 2020 shattered another glass ceiling. She became the first woman, the first black person, and the first Asian American to hold this position. As vice president, Harris has taken on a wide range of responsibilities, from chairing the National Space Council to leading diplomatic efforts. She has used her platform to advocate for the Biden administration's agenda, including the American Rescue Plan, the bipartisan infrastructure law, and the Build Back Better agenda. Harris has also been a vocal advocate for voting rights, climate action, and economic justice. Her presence in the White House and her active role in shaping policy have been hailed as a sign of progress and a source of inspiration for many Americans, particularly women and people of color. However, her time as vice president has not been without its challenges. The potential and the pitfalls. Evaluating Harris's presidential prospects. Kamala Harris's political journey has been marked by both significant achievements and formidable challenges. Her rise to the vice presidency has positioned her as a potential front-runner for the presidency in the future, but her path forward is not without obstacles. Harris's strengths lie in her sharp intellect, her ability to connect with voters on a personal level, and her unwavering commitment to progressive values. She has a proven track record of public service, both as a prosecutor and as an elected official. However, Harris also faces potential pitfalls. She will need to address these criticisms head-on and articulate a clear vision for the future if she hopes to win the presidency. A legacy in the making. Kamala Harris's enduring impact. Kamala Harris's place in history is already secure. As the first female, first Black, and first Asian American Vice President of the United States, she has shattered barriers and inspired generations to come. However, her legacy is still being written. Beyond her historic firsts, Harris's legacy will be judged on her ability to deliver on her promises of progress and change. Her supporters hope that she will continue to champion issues such as social justice, economic equality, and climate action. Her critics, on the other hand, will be watching closely to see if she can effectively address the challenges facing the nation. From her humble beginnings as the daughter of immigrants to her historic rise to the vice presidency, she has defied expectations and paved the way for others to follow in her footsteps.